Oh, yes, there he is. Perfect. Nailed it. Hi, Jason. Thank you so
How are
much for
you?
joining us. Can
No
you hear
problem.
you can hear me okay today?
Sorry?
You can hear me okay?
Yeah, the audio doesn't. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I don't know, maybe I need a new phone. This is a relatively new phone, but my internet is literally just in the dongle in there. So hopefully we can manage to get through, guys. If there is any audio issues, let us know. Terry, can you just give me another confirmation that you guys can hear from my end, just from an audio perspective? I can hear Jason okay, so that's, I guess, what's most important, because today's all about you, Jason. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll only take 10
Sure.
minutes of your time. I know how busy you are between growth and the operations and managing your property managers, which is what I want to kick off today's session with. Give us a bit of background. How long have you been in the industry? What is your role and what is your responsibilities?
Sure. That's I am the operations manager of what is essentially a family business that started with my mum 14 years ago. We always said that if it affected our mum-son team, we would call it quits. So I left the business after about 5 years and spent 5 years on the Sunshine Coast. It was important to hone my skill without my mum protecting me. Then I came back into the business nearly 4 years ago now. There's myself, my mum, my sister, my niece, and two other team members, and we're actively looking for two others. So we're essentially a three-generation family-owned and operated real estate business
Oh my
and an independent
goodness.
brand. So that,
That's certainly got to work in your favor from a pitching perspective, right? From a boutique agency perspective, family owned, like that's what people want. They want really personalized service, and your messaging in that is definitely something your agency could deliver.
yeah. And we had a really cool meeting just this week with a marketing consultant about the fact that we've got to do a better job of that three-generation thing. So that's the next step. But
Getting
let's
that mess.
talk about this today.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting that message out there. So, Jason, you've been around then. That means you've been in the industry nearly 10 years. Would that be correct? 4 years back in the
20,
biz.
2011. So, yeah,
Uh,
so I went full time in April of 2012. I did it part time for 6 months while we took a gamble. I did my old job at the same time. So,
yes.
10 full time years. Yeah.
Wow. And in that time, what have you been property management, business, growth? Like, have you done all aspects of the role?
Um, I say to people I'm an average property manager. It's not my passion. I can do the job. I can do the job. It takes a special skill to be a property manager, and I'm good at finding people with that skill. But and I can do the job because you're on holidays for 2 weeks. But if you're on maternity leave for 3 months, the wheels would fall off. I
Yeah.
would stop delivering on our brand promise. I'd handball it to someone else for sure.
And I think that's any good person in charge of growth, right? We're not generally the same type of personality. We're not a phenomenal property manager as well as a phenomenal growth mindset. Like they're normally two different personalities. So that's pretty standard. And I love that you say I can do it temporarily, but probably not long term. You can do it if you need to, but don't rely on me. You want my property management team in your corner.
100%.
Absolutely. Now let's get into it, Jason. I think you are the perfect example of someone that knows what they need to do 99.9% of the time. But when you're in the industry so long, you're in a role so long, you're with you become complacent. And even though you know what to do, you're not necessarily doing it. And that accountability and that revitalizing that energy can be just what you need to really kickstart your results and get the outcomes that you have the knowledge and skills to get. And I think you're the perfect person in terms of that was you when you joined the Next Level Growth Program. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. And I remember you came up in my feed, or NLG came up in my feed, and I registered, and you sent me a private message going, "Hey Jace, is this right? Like, are you seriously going to do my course? Like, I don't think I can teach you anything. And I was like, hey, well, I'm in a bit of a rut, and I, I am a really trained person, but I am in a rut, and business has been really good, and the wheels are back on, and processes are great, and our team is ready, and we're ready for growth. But I've lost that momentum because I've
Yeah.
spent so much time day to day in the business turning it around that I haven't made growth my focus, and I just need a refresher. I think that's what described me. So,
Yeah.
it's not that I can't do it. I just needed a refresher. More importantly than that, I made it abundantly clear to you in that meeting before I sent any money or committed that what I absolutely needed from you in return was, because you and I are friends, but we're not friends. We're
Yeah.
colleagues. I made it abundantly clear what I need from you is accountability. Like, that's
Absolutely.
where my shortfall was I'm coming into the program because friends isn't our first thing. It's that I want accountability from you.
Absolutely. And I really pride myself on that, Jason. Whilst I definitely want to be friendly and approachable, but I'm there to keep you accountable. I'm there to be your coach. I'm there to drive you, and I'll have the hard conversation if I need to have the hard conversation. If I think you're not making enough calls, if I think that you haven't gotten the results because you haven't committed, then I definitely will have that conversation. And I think that's where that difference between having the friendship and having that professional relationship comes in. And for you, that's definitely what you needed. So if there is anyone joining us today or watching this back, understand that even if you have the skills, but you need to be revitalized, you need the accountability, you need the energy, you need just a facelift on it, then the program can give you all of the base foundations, but give you that accountability level as well. And Jason, we gave that to you, and your results, you saw immediate, and that's because you knew what you needed to do, so you could actually go and implement it, and you saw some really phenomenal results. So I want to specifically focus on referral partners, because that has been your jam since you completed the Next Level Growth
As
program. It's been absolutely phenomenal seeing you in that space, hearing your success levels weekly around how you're going. I mean, I'm never mad about getting a call saying, Nat, I need a 15-minute chat. How do I get on top of my workload? I've got too many incoming referrals. Like, you literally had that conversation with me, right? That is so exciting. And just hats off to you for implementing everything and getting to that position where you needed to have a conversation around, how do I handle this growth?
yeah, yeah.
So tell us, what did your like before completing the program? What did your relationships look like with your referral partners, and how many managements on a monthly basis would you say you were getting from them on average?
So I was a member of BNI already, and I would say on average I was getting about 6 a year, which wasn't terrible, but BNI is a really enormous time commitment in exchange. And then in addition to that, I've got uh, one mortgage broker that I average probably one a month, but it's fair to say I've doubled that referral relationship. So I'd almost say it's two now, because I've taught him a different way to look for leads, or not taught him a different way. I've provided additional service to him, which is ultimately leading to additional leads because I'm being more flexible. But the really big one for me was buyer's agents. I knew all the places. Yeah.
Keep going.
Sorry, I think I went into the next stage of the question. So I
No, no,
stopped.
no, that's okay. So no, you do you. Like, this is just a conversation, like, you're adding value to everyone listening today. So you were doing BNI, and Jason, that's a common question I get asked. Is BNI a good area for referral partner relationships? And I think, look, BNI can be a great starting point if you're potentially not really confident in that area of a referral relationships, because there is people there that want the same thing. But I do think BNI, like we talked about, is a very time consuming relationship. You have to commit X amount of leads, X amount of meetings on a weekly basis. And I do think there's better ways that your time could be spent than BNI to get more return on that investment from a referral partner perspective. And you've seen that tenfold. So if we say where you started, you were doing, say, 6 a year from BNI and one from a mortgage broker. So let's just say on average 1.5 managements a month from referral partners. What does your referral partner on average look like now, including your 1.5 and then any extras? So on a monthly basis, what would you say you're signing now from referral partners?
10 to 12 consistently per month, which is the lion's share of what I'm doing. Because for me, we talked before about workload and managing that. The minute we're above 15, we're putting additional resources in place. The minute we're above 15 a month at the minute, the wheels fall off. But 10 to 12 of those coming exclusively from referral partners.
So 10 to 12 exclusively from referral partners. So you have been able to increase your output with referral partners 5 times what you were doing prior. And I'm sure you know now more than ever, because this is where majority of your business comes from now. But how good are referral partners to do business with? Like, how much easier are the clients to work with? You get less objections. They're easier to close when you do have those quality relationships with those key referral partners that you are working with on an ongoing basis.
Well, I think there's two things. From that 10 to 12, for me, I'm not actually meeting the client until we've done the deal. So the reality is, in order to achieve 8 of those 12, I'm talking daily. So I've got 5 buyer's agents that I work with. Of those 5, I work with 3 pretty religiously, would be a fair way of saying it, almost to the point where I treat them as members of my team. So I probably have a 5-minute conversation almost every day with those 3. I would go as far as saying there's 2 20 or 30-minute conversations a week, because they're getting my opinions on lots of different stock that they're buying on behalf of clients. But those 3 people alone are averaging almost a purchase a week per each of the 3 of them. So it's worth my time. And the great thing is, I'm conversing with the buyer's agent, so I could have 2 or 3 deals in the air at exactly the same time, and then I client. Whereas in the old model, I've got to be doing 15 relationships, 12 relationships with 12 people and maintain those 12 buy-ins. I'm having frequent conversations with 3 people instead of 12 people. That's amazing, but rendering the same result. And the minute the penny dropped on that, you changed my life. I've been doing referral partners for years.
Guys, you've heard it.
Penny dropped that I could render 3. I was like, yeah, this is the bomb. This is the easy way.
Guys, you've heard it firsthand from someone who's been able to increase their output by 5 times. So I just worked out the numbers Jason talked about. He's averaging an hour and a half of conversations on a weekly basis to 2 hours with consistent referral partners he works with daily. And that is yielding 12 managements a month. So if we look at that, 8 hours a week is yielding 12 managements a month. But it's not just what he gets immediately, it's what he's building through his pipeline as well. So Jason said the penny dropped for him. I can manage 3 relationships with real quality, or I can go and have to do 15, 30, 45, 60 new relationships every month to sign the same amount of management agreements. Referral partners have so much value, but you have to be able to master the relationship. You have to understand. Jason said he's increased one of his referral partners from 1 to 2 a month from just being able to add enough value and offer another service that allows that referral partner, which is the mortgage broker, to identify that lead for Jason that he wasn't identifying before. So it's about you as a BDM, principal property manager, being able to educate your referral partners and add value so they immediately think of you. And Jason, you've absolutely nailed that. I think I said to you one week when you messaged me saying, I just signed my 15th management agreement for the week. I was like, well, maybe you're going to be the queen of referral partners and you're going to have to start coaching week 3 instead of me, right?
Yeah, and look, I don't ever want to do that week of 15 ever again, if I'm perfectly honest, because it was really horrific.
It was.
And we've gone for a real, with lots of people being sick and stuff. But we know that it can be done. done. So it can be done with the right resources in place, but it's life-changing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, listen, when you said you've changed my life, that will forever sit with me because that's what we want to do. We just want to do more business. We want to do it easier and we want to do it with better relationships. And
Yeah.
the biggest thing is, Jason, nothing I taught you would have worked if you didn't go and implement it and you didn't put your Jason spin on it. And I love that. So congratulations. Would you say the content was easy to follow and I was an accountable coach to keep you on track over that period of that time we worked together and kind of ongoing as well?
Look, I think one of the things that was really good about the program was literally you provided a script and a dialogue for absolutely everything. Like right down the email you send, when you send it, on what day you send it, what the next step is, etc., etc. There's still room for improvement, but we have implemented a process, which also then means that when and we're still working on this in our office. But when I can't take the call, the difference now is we've changed the dialogue. So the team member takes the call, sends the email, CCs me in it. It's got all of our frequently asked questions that are already answered. It's a standard process. So when I call them back in 24 hours, they've actually had the time to I try and call them back that day, but the team deliberately say, look, read all this information. Jason's going to call you at such and such time tomorrow. Because then they've read all the work. They've done their homework. So by the time I call them, they're actually ready to sign. It's like, what time tomorrow suits you for me to come and see the house? Shall I bring the paperwork with me?
Yes, you absolutely should. And sign right here.
And correct, and it's an easier sell because
they trust you.
You provided the template for the script and dialogue.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? So that's the pre-appraisal process that Jason's referring to, guys. So we talk about people wanting fast, accurate communication. And I think there's been one really clear message in all of the 3 lives now, Kate's, Megan's and Jason's, that if you want a process, you want a script, you want a dialogue, and you want to know exactly what to do and when to do it, then the Next Level Growth program's for you. Because everyone has been really clear in their messaging that that's what they loved most. And what Jason's referring to is the pre-appraisal process that he's implemented into his office with his administration. So if he is speaking to a referral partner, he's at a lunch, he's pitching for business, and a new business client calls in, he doesn't have to immediately call that person back within 15 minutes to guarantee the business, because we know what people want: fast, accurate communication. But Jason now has a process that provides that client with fast, accurate communication, just in a different way, until Jason can call back and have a really quality conversation. So again, we teach that in the program. Not everyone implements it, but it can literally be a game changer in terms of that first impression for you and your clients. And I think having that to talk to your referral partners about, Jason, when you are pitching for business with a new referral partner, as we start to build on that, is the fact that you do have that service there, because you know how important fast, accurate communication is for everyone in today's society.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely nailed that.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I want to know, because this is the big question for everyone, did you see immediate results or did it take time?
To be perfectly honest, I did get relatively immediate results. And the reason I got relatively immediate results is because you made us commit to 3 call sessions a week. And in that first 6 weeks, like it was you almost made us promise in week 1 that it was a not negotiable to commit to that. And you probably made me commit to it because of our previous knowledge of each other and my longevity in the industry.
Yeah.
Before, as I said, I want you to hold me accountable. You're like, well, you just got to promise me those 3 call sessions, Jace. Like, you got to promise me them. And every time the wheels fall off, you come straight back to, have you been making your calls? Nah.
That's where it all comes down to.
And I'll be like, I haven't made my calls. I'm letting so many people down. And when I say that, I'm me down. I'm letting my team down. I'm letting you down. I'm letting
Yeah.
my buyers agents down. But more importantly, I'm actually letting those clients in my pipeline down
Yeah.
because that, they're expecting my call. I promised I'd call them again in a week or a month or three. And so if I don't commit to those call sessions, I'm letting them down. And once you get that, it's pretty powerful. And like just this week, I sat down and made a call session, and it was the first one in about 10 days, to be honest. And honestly, like 5 leads.
Yeah.
It's like picking grapes the minute.
Yeah. You have to make the call, right? And
Like,
that's the biggest
do you know
thing.
what I mean?
Yeah. And I think everyone
And
don't
I'm
get
amazed at people. They're so happy. Oh, Jason, I've been meaning to call you.
yeah.
I'm so glad you called. Like, it's such an easy call. And then
Yeah.
you walk away going, I cannot believe I've been putting this off, because
Yeah.
it's actually the funnest part of my job too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key thing here is, guys, don't get too scared. I'm not going to make everyone commit to 3 call sessions a week, but Jason's right. I made him commit to 3 call sessions a week because that was the number he needed to get the growth results he wanted, based on his responsibilities within his business. Everyone's different. If you're a senior property manager in charge of growth, you might commit to 1 call session a week, and that might be more manageable. So I think the key here is, and Jason's just nailed it, he got the results because he stuck to his call sessions and he made that commitment. Now, whether you commit to 1 call session a week, whether it's at 1 a fortnight, whether it's 3 a week, I actually don't mind. But when we commit to something, guys, we execute it, because discipline in this role is so important. But we give you all the skills around that, the steps to set yourself up for success when you are having these calls and making these relationships, to make sure that you do get yourself in the best position. Jason, you have added so much value to everyone here today. If people don't walk away from this live and immediately either 1, join the Next Level Growth Program to find out how to do exactly what you've done, or 2, start prospecting to referral partners, then they're not serious about growing their rent roll, because this is the best and, personally, in my opinion, easiest way of doing a high volume of business in a really fun and consistent way. Would you agree? Oh, you
I
cut out then.
100% agree, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, someone was trying to call me. I apologize profusely.
No, it's fine.
So, I 100% agree is the reality. I think the thing I took from the program most is you gave us the foundation for a whole series of ways to create a result. And every piece of training I've done over the years, you're the same as me. You go to a million conferences and you learn 1,000 ways to grow business, and you get back to your business on Monday morning and you implement 0. What I took from this program was, I'm going to do one thing sensationally and focus all my effort and energy on that one thing. And that's how I'm getting results. And I know that if I want to increase my results, the only thing I actually have to do is go find another 1 or 2 buyers agents, and I duplicate my results. Why go and find another way to get leads? I know how to source leads. I just need more buyers agents getting me more leads. I'm the king of that one thing.
Yeah, beautiful. So Jason's message to wrap this up, guys, is be the king of one thing. And that's the thing. You don't want to go and change the world, and everything you learn in the Next Level Growth Program, you're not going to be able to implement it immediately. There's too much for you to implement, but you implement one thing out of each week. And I actually say this at the end of each week. I want you to prioritize what you're going to implement immediately, in 6 months and in 12 months. And they're your goals, because you can't implement everything. But just like Jason said, pick that one thing you want to be really good at. And I got taught this from an old principle: do less better. And Jason, I think that's essentially what you're saying. Just, you're the king of referral partners now. So when you want to grow from 10 to 12 and you want to get that 12 to 15, you can just go and duplicate what you're doing with another buyer's agent or another referral partner. And that's the beauty of it. Absolutely beautiful.
Yes,
Jason, thank you so much.
100%. And the only thing you're welcome.
No, you go ahead. Add on. Sorry, we've got a bit of a lag between you and me. It must be me in
No,
Queensland, you in South Australia.
the time difference.
Yes.
The only other thing that I want to finish is because obviously at the end of the 6-month program, there is a monthly option that is an insignificant, and I know the purpose of inviting me today is not to talk about that, but I think it's a really critical thing to talk about because the support that has been created for such an insignificant sum of additional money, and the fact that that just means that I get your ongoing support, and the fact that you're at the, and you'd help me anyway is the reality, but the fact that I'm then front of mind for you, because if you don't hear from me for 2 weeks, I've been a naughty boy on my
Yeah.
calls, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, "Hey Jay, I haven't heard from you,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "I better make calls tomorrow. That's gonna bust my chops."
Yes, absolutely. So Jason's referring to the Next Level Growth Club, guys. You have to have completed the Next Level Growth program to be able to join the club. You can't just join the ongoing coaching. The ongoing coaching is where we dive deeper and provide further accountability post the Next Level Growth program. It's a monthly subscription. Jason, I love that you think it's such an insignificant amount for the value that we add to you during the club. So thank you so much for that. And yes, don't worry, I will kick your ass if you need it. And I promise I will continue to do so.
Thank you, and I really appreciate the fact that you kept your promise.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us all today. Jason, thank you for being such a superstar, sharing your insights around Referral Partners and the Next Level Growth Program. Couldn't appreciate it more. And guys, if you need anything or you had any questions, round 7 kicks off on the 25th of July. We would absolutely love to have you join us. If you can't join round 7, we have multiple rounds and all the registration details are on our website. Jason, thank you so much again.
You're welcome. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.